welcome back to my doll collecting channel. Today I am answering a question that I receive a lot and a lot of doll YouTubers receive, and that is how we can afford our awesome, huge, often huge collections. And I know this will be a controversial video because I feel like most, if not all, doll YouTubers feel like it's no one's business. And quite frankly, it is no one's business. But I'm an open book and I like telling people things that I shouldn't. So this video is more of a video of like some of my strategies that I use to afford my doll collection, but I'm kind of answering the questions that nobody wants to answer in the doll community. Hopefully this video will have some helpful strategies to help you be able to afford a doll collection. Now, a little bit of background about me, because everyone's situation is different and everyone has different circumstances. So my circumstances as a 22-year-old recent graduate is different from, you know, a mom with 8 kids. So that being said, let's just give a little bit of background about me. So like I said, I'm 22 years old. I recently graduated university and I do plan on going back. My undergrad was in anthropology and I plan to go back to get my teacher certification, which will be about a year, and I found out in a few days if I get accepted into the program this year. If I don't get in this year, I'm applying again next year because I am determined. But I graduated university debt free. Now, that was a goal that I had throughout my undergrad degree, and maybe I'll make a video on it, I don't know, but it doesn't really need that much talking about. But essentially, I worked all through university, but I only paid $3,000 out of pocket for my $32,000 degree. Everything else was through scholarships and government assistance, which there was a lot of it because of COVID. So that is a milestone that I'm very proud of, since I am a follower of Dave Ramsey, which is a internet personality who believes in being debt free. So I followed his principles and I do follow his principles. Do I agree with everything he says? Absolutely not. But having some plan is better than having no plan at all. And he has, you know, a radio show, but you can find almost all of his stuff on YouTube. If you want to watch the full things on YouTube, that's what I do. So yeah, I follow Dave Ramsey. So tip number 1. So that is enough about me and my situation. Oh, also I still live with my parents, and that's kind of an interesting situation because now I wish I was brave as Kyla collects on this channel and was open about her struggles that she has, because I do have some struggles as well, and that's why I still live with my parents, but I am terrified of revealing them online. So I am currently trying to work things out while living with my parents, but right now I do pay them rent. Now, up until recently, I was very low income because I was a student. I couldn't make that much money because I was in full-time school, and also COVID really prevented the kind of jobs you could get and the hours you could get. So I was very low income for a very long time throughout basically my entire undergrad. But recently I started working full-time because I am between, you know, being out of school but planning on going back in, so I'm working full-time retail. So that's a little bit of my background story. I don't know how much I'm going to leave in because some of it is pretty personal, but then again, it just shows that everyone's situation is different and unique. Now, my biggest tip for having an awesome doll collection and saving up for a doll collection is set a budget. It is so easy to go overboard with dolls. I know, I do it sometimes too. I go over my budget sometimes, but it's important to not go crazy, because it's better to go like set a budget and then go maybe like $10 or $20 over than it is to just go crazy and end up spending like $500 extra. So even if you go over your budget sometimes, try not to, but it's gonna happen, or maybe you're better than I am and it doesn't happen. Number 2, and this is a big one, spend less in other areas. Now, an example of this for me is that I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. Almost all of my clothes either come from thrift stores. There is a cheap store that has really good sales in Canada. It's called Joe Fresh, and it's found in like Loblaws grocery stores. Their stuff is really cheap. Walmart, and the most expensive place I'll shop for clothes is Old Navy. So I never spend money on clothes, even though I have a very unique style. I have lots of pinks, I have lots of blacks, I have a very girly classic style, but I make sure to have pieces that fit those style and that are comfortable and that I can use either dress up or dress down, so I don't have to have clothes upon clothes upon clothes. But I also don't really have any other hobbies other than community theater. So yeah, my expenses are pretty low. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. I have the cheapest phone plan that you can possibly have. My phone is currently cracked. It cracked the other day, and I'm hoping to get to my birthday without it completely breaking on me because I want to save some money. I feel like I just paid off the tab. So I don't know if I should get it repaired or just get a new phone, but we're just gonna deal with it for a little bit, see how it goes. Number 3, become an eBay pro. I have become an absolute pro with the eBay. And if you live in the States, there's literally no excuse for this. I mean, I'm able to find pretty good deals in Canada, and sometimes if you set the settings just to Canada, you can get free shipping or cheaper prices. I got a Pleasant Company, she's not a Pleasant Company, she's an early Kaya doll for $80 including shipping. So, and $140 is the average American Girl here in Canada. So that's almost half price, a little more than half price. And that's just with constantly looking on eBay. I think I look at eBay every day when I'm watching TV at the end of the night. So I'm always on eBay looking for the new listings, looking for the new deal. Make sure to check out my eBay tips video because I deep dive into how to save money on eBay and how not to get scammed. Basically anything you want to know about buying American Girls on eBay, it is discussed in that video. So make sure to go check out that video if you want some tips on eBay. Number 4 is go to thrift stores. Now this can be tricky because thrift stores, you can plan to spend more than you want sometimes, because sometimes you'll have a really great day and you'll find a whole bunch of things that technically you really don't need, but they're a really good deal. So it can be very easy to spend a lot of money at a thrift store. However, if you go in with a mission and only get very specific things like American Girl thing, personally I look for books, I look for some fun finds, I even put stuff back that's too expensive. It's not like really cheap things that I can use for American Girl. And then I also look for American Girl, Maple Leaf Girls, you know, dolls like that. I have been able to find 5 dolls at the thrift store, 2 of them American Girl, one of them Maple Leaf, one of them an American Girl Welly Wisher, and one of them a Hearts for Hearts doll. But I've also seen like brand new unboxed glitter girls and, you know, our generation dolls and Walmart dolls for really, really cheap. So you can definitely find some really good finds. I've even found American Girl furniture. I found Mary Grace and Cecile's bed for $30 at a thrift store, which is so much cheaper than getting it off of eBay. And the lady who was checking me out was like, why are you spending $30 on a doll bed? And I had to like explain to her that I'm like, this bed would have been $200 brand new and it's retired and you can't get it anymore. So it's definitely worth more than $200. And she looked at me like I was crazy. I also had another lady, I found American Girl clothes hangers, a whole bag of clothes hangers for like less than $5, like maybe $3.99, something like that. And she was like, oh, my sister just makes, you know, them out of pipe cleaners. And I'm like, I am not making American Girl clothes hangers out of pipe cleaners. I'm getting these official American Girl branded with the star. This is American Girl right on it. This whole pack of, I think 13 came in the package, either 11 or 13. So yeah, that would have been expensive to buy brand new, but you can definitely find amazing things at the thrift stores, even dolls. Number 5 is Walmart and the dollar store are your friend, definitely for fun finds. So if you have a dollhouse, which I do have, and I love finding like little things to put in the dollhouse, like I have these little things of yarn that you can, like, they're just like little balls of yarn, and I put them in the dollhouse in Kirsten and Marta's room and in the living room, and they're just like cute, like things that, you know, you can just put in your dollhouse. And they're probably at the dollar store, it's most likely $4 and under. And I've even made a American Girl wood stove out of things I found at the dollar store for less than $10. So you can definitely find some really good deals at the dollar store and at Walmart, especially now with, you know, there's, you know, the My Life Has stuff. But you can still find, you know, hair clips and hair bows and things like that for really cheap at Walmart and the dollar store. More so the dollar store than Walmart. But that's definitely a way, especially I get a lot of hair stuff. And you can find rugs, a whole bunch of fun finds that you can find at the dollar store. So I have this really awesome detailed dollhouse, which really hasn't cost me that much because I was able to find tea sets and rugs and little books and little things of yarn and baskets all at the dollar store and Walmart and thrift stores. Number 6 is turn your hobby for dolls into a side hustle. Now, I'm gonna be very careful with this one, because it's definitely not easy money, but if you have either a passion for, like, let's say making doll clothes, you can very easily make Etsy outfits and sell them. Now, I don't know very much about it, I've never done it myself, but I know a lot of people who are really successful at it. And some people who make historical clothes, some people who make modern outfits, or like really unique designs, you know, so you can really do a lot with Etsy. Some people even just make jewelry for dolls. So if you already have a passion like that for creating something for American Girls, you might be able to turn it into some money. Now, I don't know how much money that would make you, but I've seen a lot of people do it. Also, you could do what I've done, which is create a YouTube channel and get ad revenue. Now, this is definitely not easy. I had a YouTube channel before this, which did get monetized, but it took me like 2.5 years to get monetized. So when I was creating an American Girl channel, I kind of knew the steps to take and what were some of the strategies. I had already made like almost 200 videos on my other channel before creating this channel. So I definitely knew how to make videos and make good quality videos from making mistakes in the past. But I have, you know, told people about my YouTube channel and the process that it goes into it, and a lot of people are like, that is a lot of work and you don't get paid as much money, you know, as it's worth to what other people have told me who are not YouTubers. However, I really do have a passion for YouTube. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I've been a YouTuber in the past. I probably would be making videos already even without making the money, because it doesn't pay my bills yet. I hope for one day it could, and I definitely think it's possible, but I have to get through a few steps before that's possible. I'm not saying it's hard work, because it's definitely something I really, really enjoy doing. So I'm not saying like, oh, YouTube is so hard. But if you don't have a passion for it, you're probably not gonna stick to it for very long. So, you know, if you do like creating videos, then I would suggest creating videos, because that can be a fairly easy quote unquote easy way to make money if you do really have a passion for it. Now, there's some other people who make like American Girl calendars, or, you know, sell their photography for American Girl, or use photography to make it a side hustle about American Girls. So if you can think of something to do like that, I know some people who sew clothes and go to like craft fairs and things like that. So you need to really, you know, make those decisions for yourself, like what you're good at and what time you have, and if you can do it in your area, and all those questions you need to ask yourself. But it's definitely possible to consider doing a side hustle related to dolls and seeing if you can do that. Number 7 is wait for American Girl, or if you live in Canada, Chapters and Indigo sales. Now, if you live in Canada, the Chapters and Indigo sales happen, I think, around Easter during the spring and around Christmas time. They just recently had one the week before Black Friday, and I did get, you know, 2 American Girls, which I don't know if that video is gonna go up before this one, but we'll find out. So make sure to wait for those sales, because you can save a lot of money if you wait for even a 20% off sale. Or if you live in the States and you can do that super awesome members reward, berry points. I don't know how it works. I can't do it because it's not available in Canada. But those sales, some of them are really good. So make sure to wait for those sales. And I would say never purchase anything without it being on sale. But also don't purchase things just because they're on sale. Make sure you're only buying things that you actually like. Number 8 is kind of related to the previous tip, which is maybe have a time of year where you spend on American Girls. For me, I spend more during the holidays, and then I spend it at the end of the year, just kind of to give me permission to spend the money that I've made throughout the year, and kind of, you know, it feels more controlled that way. So I'm not just going crazy and buying American Girls all the time. So maybe consider that. Maybe you only buy dolls around your birthday, or you only buy dolls around your birthday and Christmas, or make those decisions for yourself. Number 9 is be honest and practical Can you actually afford this? You know, those sort of things. This is a boring one. I don't know why I wrote this down. It's pretty boring. Don't be in denial and don't just buy things willy-nilly. And I guess this kind of leads into 10. So this could probably be just, you know, the same tip, but have a goal and focus for your collection. Don't just buy every single doll because you like every single doll or just because you want to have an awesome collection. Make sure that you are intentional with Make sure you are intentional with the doll brands that you collect and with what you collect. For example, don't just say you're gonna get every doll. Are you only gonna collect Rainbow High and American Girl, or Rainbow High and Monster High, or are you only gonna collect Monster High? But even then, you can't collect every single Monster High doll. I mean, you could, but it would be very expensive very quickly, and most people cannot do that. So be very, very picky. Do I only buy the basic dolls? Do I only buy the lines that I really like? Do I only buy of this character? Make those decisions for yourself and don't just buy random dolls. Number 11, which is a really sad tip, but it is true. Don't spend all your money on dolls. And you're probably like, Sophia, you started this video by saying how to have an awesome big giant doll collection. How does that work? Well, the reality is don't starve yourself to get dolls. I know people joke about that and there's so many memes about that, but you know, life and being responsible is about taking care of other priorities like rent, and if you have kids, taking care of the kids and things like that. So don't just spend all your money on dolls and think about, oh, I'll deal with all of my other responsibilities later. No, be honest with yourself and take care of your priorities like your phone bill and your electrical bill and your water bill before you spend it on dolls. Because if you don't, it could get yourself in a lot of trouble and you could be very miserable, and maybe the other people that you're taking care of would also be miserable. And we don't want to get this into addiction territory, which might be another good video. How to know if your doll collection is an addiction. Kind of morbid, but maybe interesting. Well, and with that note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. That has been me answering questions about, you know, how doll collectors can afford their awesome collection. And some other factors that I didn't talk about is that some of us are sponsored by brands, some of us get free stuff, some of us are in severe credit card debt, not me, but other people. But yeah, those are my tips for how to have an awesome doll collection and how I afford my collection. Hopefully that answers some of your questions, and yes, it's a little bit nosy, but who knows? Who knows? Anyways, I'm getting tired. I should probably end this video. But I will see you all next time. Happy holidays, and I'll see you with another video.